All right, it's 7:15 on the dot. Good Tuesday evening, everyone. I'm Fox 19 Now First Alert Meteorologist Brad Maushart. And no case of the terrible Tuesdays today. Much like the last several weeks, it is still boring outside. And what is boring for me is great for you. And hopefully you've been enjoying some of the nicer weather out there. If you couldn't tell, the Reds are playing tonight. A little playoff action out in L.A., and it feels kind of like L.A. weather, right? Minus all the pollution. And the smog and all that kind of stuff. Hey, if you're going to be out and about for this evening, I do have something for you. Something a little different. Let's hop to it. Hold on. Give me a second. Roller door. Tonight, the International Space Station, a little pregame flyover action. If you're going to be down, we have a couple watch parties going on for this game tonight. Not we, as in the station, but the city. The Banks has a watch party. They did get approval to check out the game tonight on the big screen, hanging off the side of the stadium over there. So the Banks has a viewing party. Newport, I think, on the levee also has a shindig going on. If you're going to any of those, you're in good shape. The weather's going to be perfect, but before the game tonight, take a look off at the sky. This is happening in just under 1 hour from now. The game is still 2 hours away. But just under an hour from now, you can see the International Space Station buzzing by at, I think it was like 16,000 miles an hour. It's ridiculous. But you'll be able to check that out. It starts at 8:06. It is a 7-minute flyover. Better than anything they're going to get out there in L.A. For the start of this wild card series. 7-minute pass. It begins low on the horizon up to the northwest. So the opposite direction this camera right here is looking, more so what our Newport cam looks at, right? So where the sun's going down right now, similar direction, just a little bit further right of that. You'll start to see this little faint and then very bright object kind of just sliding across the sky. That'll be the space station. So west-northwest, ending to the southeast, so almost directly overhead, right? It's going to start in the west-northwest, right over your shoulder, and end in the southeast at a max height of 54 degrees. If you hold your fists out, start stacking them from the horizon, that's almost 5.5 fists high. So 8:06 to 8:13, something cool to see out there tonight. Just a little something because there's nothing else happening. I have literally nothing else for you until Tuesday of next week. So I'm going to fill the time with other random things. How about 6? Nobody's probably guessing what 6 means off the top of your heads. I'm not seeing any comments yet, which makes me think, okay, no, I have my audio on. Okay, it's great. It's fine. It's just, like I said, it's kind of a boring forecast, right? 6, it's been so boring, we've only seen 6 days with measurable precipitation through the month of September at the International Airport. That's it, and that sounds like a little bit, and it is. But it's not too far off from what we typically see. The all-time and the 30-year average, both the same. They both line up, and it's both 8 days. So we should see about 8 days with measurable precipitation for the entire month of September, which I thought seemed a little low, but it is our driest month of the year, so that does make sense, right? 8 days is what we should see. We saw 6. And in terms of total precipitation, I'll have those updated numbers for you as we head into October tomorrow. Yes, today is the last day of September. I'll have those numbers for you, but we're going to end the month with 2.26 inches of rainfall. We should see for the entire month over 3 inches, so we're going to be well shy of that number. Sunset time, like I said, that sun is going down right now, and the sunset time is 7:22, right? So it's almost over the horizon right now. It gets worse from here. You know, it's getting darker earlier. By the end of October, it's 6:38, and you think that's bad. Just a couple days after Halloween, November the 2nd, daylight saving time comes to an end. We have failed to save the daylight for another year. It comes to an end, and on November 2nd, the sunset time jumps to like 5:35, and it's pretty lousy from there on out. 5:15 by early December. So, yeah. Enjoy that 7:22. Happy Tuesday to you. Well, a little bad news there. There goes the sun over the horizon. That is about the same direction you are going to want to look to check out the International Space Station flying on by. If you were in Newport, right where this camera is, it would fly right over downtown. I mean, it is a great little flyover for us. Betty asking about October 11th. Oh, we're getting so close. Right now, I can tell you October the 10th. That is the final day of our 10-day forecast. It looks like 76 for a high temperature, 58 for a low temperature with increasing clouds. There's a chance we could see some showers that next weekend. We're talking a long ways out, right? This is October 11th that Betty's asking about. Long ways out. There is a chance we could see some showers, but I mean, that is so far away. So At least for now, it's still mild. It's still above normal, so we at least got half of your hopes there. We'll see what happens in the rain department. Right now, our only chance of rain comes in a week from today, next Tuesday. We could see some showers as early as Monday, but for the most part, looks to be a Tuesday event with the cold front diving in. Still at 81 outside. I mean, L.A. without the cooler temperatures. 81 right now. We'll drop back into the 70s. It will feel very similar here with low humidity and 70s to what they're going to see outside in L.A. for the first pitch tonight, which doesn't always happen by late September around here. So really comfy night on the way with just a few clouds there off to the southeast. That is what's left of Imelda, a Category 1 storm this evening. We also have Umberto off to the northeast of that, and Umberto is heading off to the east. It's going to take Imelda with it, so no impacts from these storms as we head throughout the next couple of hours. You can see in the yellow just kind of under the clouds there, that is the tropical storm force winds, at least tropical storm force, right? Not even hurricane force. The wind fields are not very big with these, so even that is not reaching the U.S. mainland. Now, different story over in Bermuda. They're getting hammered right now. The worst of the storm is well north of Bermuda. That's where it says St. George there on the map, but they're still getting impacts from that. And then Imelda is going to come in a couple days and go right through too, but luckily that'll be a weak storm. So here's the storm paths for that over the next couple days. Umberto, which was the much stronger of the two storms, just kind of fizzles out and dies right there, just north of Bermuda, right where it is almost. Imelda going to go take and try to head directly at Bermuda, but weakening as it slides off towards the northeast. So no U.S. impacts from those storms. And if you're heading down to a wild card watch party, like we said, check out that flyover from the International Space Station. Cool to see. That is happening at 8:06. It begins at 8:06. You'll probably have a little tough time seeing it if you're in the banks because of the tall buildings right there, but you should still be able to catch at least a glimpse of it as it passes over downtown. Between 8:06 and 8:13. It's a 7-minute pass. After that, game starts at 9:08 tonight. Grab the coffee. It's going to be a late one. 9:08 start, probably not over till after midnight. And temperatures, if you're staying out there for that, looks great. I mean, it's 63, a little free AC, a little chilly maybe in a few spots tomorrow morning, mid-50s, and that's why we could see a little bit of pesky fog. That's your first alert for Wednesday morning. And that might be the only issue we see for the rest of this week. Filtered sunshine Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, and that's about it. Here's your bus ride out the door. Again, the patchy fog is a possibility, not for everybody, but those that do see it could see some slowdowns. And a sunrise tomorrow morning just after 7:30. We fast forward through Wednesday, Thursday. Don't worry, we'll talk about that stuff too coming up. Let's talk about the weekend because after we get past this area of high pressure, which has been off to the west, it's going to slide to the east. So once we get past the middle part of this week, tomorrow, Thursday, that area of high pressure is sliding east. That's going to allow the southerly breeze to return by this weekend, pushing temperatures back up. 82 Saturday, 83 Sunday, just a little sticky. Not bad, but a little bit more sticky than what we've been experiencing. So with that said, the Lederhosen are going to get a little sticky out there this weekend. It's going to be warm. I'm warning you, mix in some water. Donna Schwaben hosting their Oktoberfest up in Coleraine Township Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Their 33rd Oktoberfest, and low 80s. Again, not bad, right? But definitely not feeling like October. It should be a lot cooler than this. Normal high temperature is 73 degrees. By this weekend, the normal high temperature is like the low 70, 70, 71, somewhere in there. So anywhere between about 10 to 15 degrees above normal. Into the weekend, that's just one of many things we have happening this weekend. We have the Walk to End Alzheimer's. That's over at Sawyer Point Saturday. Fox 19 here, a sponsor of Walk to End Alzheimer's. And that is going to be a nice crisp morning for the walkers, 68 by 10, warming quickly. Like I said, that southerly breeze will warm things up into the weekend, 74 by noon. Again, don't forget the sunscreen. We'll see plenty of sunshine for that event. And then Sunday, we fast forward, we hop across the river over to Newport. Mammoth Arts and Music Festival. There's a third mammoth that's supposed to show up on that graphic, and I put the keyframe in there wrong. I'm better at making graphics than I promise you. It looks better than that. It's a free event, by the way. We have, I don't know how many bands are over there, but they have like 3 stages set up. There's a lot of art for sale, a lot of stuff. It's a really cool event, right? And the weather looks great for it. Personally, my fiance and I are a big fan of a band called the Hog Slop String Band, and they're going to be playing at this. So if you're heading over to Newport, you'll probably see me having a good time. which never happens. All right, let's hop to the weather timeline, because here's what's going to happen the next couple of days. Like I said, really boring forecast. Outside of a little bit of pesky fog tomorrow morning, we'll see some filtered sunshine Thursday and Friday. I said Wednesday and Thursday. Then it gets out of here for Friday for high school football. High school football, another mild week. I think it's week number 7. By this time, it's usually chilly outside, at least hoodie weather. Not this week again. We're still in the low 80s for kickoff for Friday. It will be nice and comfy by the end of those games. A blinding sunshine, too, for the first half. Just look out for that. High pressure slides east. As we mentioned, it's going to warm things up, make things a little sticky for the weekend. They'll see some snow, maybe in a few spots out there in Wyoming. Not here. I was waiting to see if Jeff was going to get on here and heckle me about the snow. There's the snow, Jeff. It is just far off to the west. Here, our next chance for rain arrives as early as Monday afternoon. Better chances Tuesday as that cold front slides through, and it will cool us down a little bit in the next week. And that hops ahead to what Betty was asking about the 11th. That is not until next Saturday, right? Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. A little cooler, but not much. And rainful, not much. Not rainful. Rain empty, more so. Rainfall, not a lot of that. We need it. It's going to get worse here, these drought-like conditions. We need the rain. We are not going to get a ton of it. The dark green shaded area, that's under a ½ inch. If it's gray on the map, that's indicating probably not anything. And if you do get lucky and maybe see that little blue splotch there right around the northwest corner of Brown County, maybe an up to an inch. But again, that's going to be very isolated. And that is just a Monday and Tuesday event. You can see, along with the rain chances rising, the humidity levels will rise a bit back to the muggy category, and that's it. Don't forget, there's Jeff, I knew it. Jeff Snow out in Wyoming. If you want it, you have to go out that way. Maybe the Rockies, maybe the Sierras. Not here. It's not going to feel anything like fall the next 10 days. Maybe some crisp mornings, but that's all you get. Don't forget, you can download our free First Alert Weather app. It's the best price you can get, other than we paying you, and that will not happen. So download it for free, fox19.com/apps. You can open that up on your phone and download straight to your phone that way. It is on the iOS store. It's also on Android, Google Play. You can check that out. Yeah, you're going to have to. There's not going to be snow here anytime soon, I don't think, Jeff. So you're going to have to go to the snow, unfortunately, because here's our temperature trend the next 10 days. The coolest temperature we have there is 72 degrees. That is the high temperature next Thursday behind the storm system, which arrives Monday and Tuesday, right? That does cool us off, but not a lot. Certainly not cool enough to get any kind of wintry precipitation at all. Right now, not expecting anything severe with that either. We'll keep an eye on it, right? Especially when you see a temperature drop behind a cold front. Yeah, you can see some storms, but I'm not expecting anything widespread severe or anything like that. Slightly cooler, that's it. And then we start to warm back up. The 8 to 14 day outlook, and this one goes to you too, Betty. This does take you through October the 14th, and you can see just about the entire country seeing above or well above normal temperatures. Not great. That does include October the 11th. And with that said, below normal precipitation as well for that stretch. So that takes us from the second full week, through the second full week of October there, the 8th to the 14th. If you want some precipitation, you're going to have to go to Albuquerque and New Mexico. Looks like they, thanks to monsoon season, will see more rainfall than we will in a desert. So it's been a really uneventful stretch, to be honest. So it's a miracle that I've even talked for 15 minutes. Here is the last few minutes of what I'm going to be talking about, and that is a very boring stretch ahead. What is boring for me, great for you. UC has a home game Saturday. I forget what time the kickoff is. I think it's 3:30. Don't quote me on that, but they play Iowa State. I do know that. The Bengals are back in town, and they're playing the Lions, and that game is a 4:25 kick, a little bit late. That also is about the same time that the Hog Slop String Band is hopping on the stage at the Newport, the Mammoth Arts and Music Fest. So I will be paying attention on my phone because I'll be listening to a band. Either way, if you're headed to the game or you're just hanging out on a weekend, not bad, 80s outside for this time of the year. Enjoy the warmth because it won't be long. I'm telling you, by the time we hit October, I guarantee you. I don't guarantee it, but I might get close to promising, right? It's going to cool down, and within about a month or two, everybody's going to be on this chat complaining about how cold it is. I know you. I know me. I'll be complaining about how cold it is. Enjoy the warmth while it lasts. The late summer season continues into next week. Just a brief cool down. 73 Wednesday, 72 out there. We'll make that full screen for you because I'm nice. 72 Thursday. That's our coolest day of the next 10. and that is still above normal for this time of the year. 76 next Friday for high school football. A little break for week number 8 of high school football, but not much. Still warm out there for that. Don't forget, you can always follow me on social media. I posted things like, if you joined late, the International Space Station is on that Facebook page right now, how to check that out, because that is happening in 36 minutes, and you don't want to miss it. It's pretty cool if you haven't seen that before. Just looking for a bright spot flying over the sky. We'll call it our pregame flyover here in Cincinnati. It's a 7-minute flyover tonight. That is on my Facebook page. You can check out all the deets there. It's also on the Tweeter or the X, whatever you call it. It's Brad with 3 A's, Weather, WX, on that. And also it's on Instagram. You can check me out there. I also post things like coffee and me at the Mammoth Music Festival this weekend listening to the Hog Slop String Band. You can check that out. So if you want to check out anything, like I said, it's usually on social media. I usually try to stay pretty active on there. We just surpassed on Facebook, and I say I, with the help of you, surpassed 22,000 on Facebook, which is great. That is the highest amount I've ever had on there, and I appreciate it always because that helps me. I know it's been a really boring stretch, but what that does, let me hop back in with a cross zoom. Whoa. What that does, it helps me to get out severe weather information when it does, when we do have kind of like, emergency situations around here, because it does happen. It's just been a really big lull out there lately. But the more people I have on there, the more engagement it gets, and the more easily I can then disseminate that information when it becomes necessary. So that's always good. I thank you for that. In the meantime, you have all been gluttons for punishment, and with terrible jokes and memes and whoever else. And now Red stuff, obviously, because they're playing tonight. If you're watching that game, go Reds. Got the Ellie jersey on tonight. Hopefully they pulled it off. We'll see. I need Ellie to get some hits out there. Great time to do it. Have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to end on what looks to be another great sunset view from the Newport cam. How about that? Maybe. There it is. Sun is going down, and like I said, in just 34 minutes now, if we're being exact, you'll be able to look off this direction and see the International Space Station buzzing by. Wave to the astronauts up there. They're going 16,000 miles an hour overhead, and always cool to see. So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Go Reds, and we'll see you back here again tonight at 10 and 11, where I will definitely not be distracted watching the game in the background. Enjoy your night, everybody. Go Reds.